It's Punisher Kid 123, Jared, all that jazz. You know who I am if you've watched my videos. Um, and this is episode 4 of my Gone Home channel. And as I said in my last video, that I was gonna do some research and figure out what really happened, because that last ending, was kind of confusing. At least for me, it was. So I watched some YouTube videos. I looked up some stuff on Google, and so what I figured out is, I don't know, for some reason I didn't catch it, but at the end, in that last audio thing you get, she's practically saying that Lonnie couldn't go to the military. She decided not to, and then she wants uh, Sam to come find her so they can be together and all that, which I think is great because I kind of like the good endings of the story. I didn't really want her to kill herself because it's sad. I've had my own experiences when people in my family have done that, and it kills you. It kills you. It hurts really bad. Um, so I'm kind of glad that happened with a happy ending. But as you guys watched throughout when I was playing, I found a lot of evidence with their uncle, no, yeah, her great uncle, that crap, I already forget his name. Like, whatever, his last name was like Manitz or something like that. Either way, with him. So pretty much what I figured out is I went to one of the last levels again, or not levels, but like last places, and I opened up that safe that I passed. I didn't know I could open it, but I did open it, and its combination was 1963, which is the date of the assassination of JFK, John F. Kennedy, which the father does write his books about. So, and in that safe, it shows you like these letters that he wrote to his sister, saying that like he's sorry, and that he was getting temptations of doing things, and he wanted forgiveness for what he's done, and that's why he sold his store, because he was getting temptations, and he was a pharmacist, and he sold like soda and stuff like that to little kids. So later on, figuring out that um, in that note that I had found on the in the dad's study, sorry, in the basement, strapped to the back of the book, how his dad saying you could do better, and why are you putting all these like your freaking problems into the story, right? And I didn't understand it at first, but now looking back, I kind of do understand it. That so the father's books were about a hero that travels back in time to stop the assassination of JFK, which is a tragedy, something bad that really happened. So what I think the father was trying to portray there was that, I'm guessing his uncle had abused him in 1963 when he was 12 years old. If I looked at that chart, I believe I showed you guys, and the measurement stopped at 12 years old at 1963. So I believe he abused him then, and then he wanted to go back in time to stop the tragedy of his uncle abusing him, possibly abusing other kids, which is where the forgiveness thing comes in, because I think he was getting temptations to abuse the little kids that he sold the soda to at the pharmacist, is what I'm getting out of all this. Although, I do think this is a really good game. It has a really good story to it. And I'm actually going to go back in it. I'll probably do in this video when I'm done talking, and listen to that last audio again, if I can do that. And if not, I know how to get there. And I'll probably try to edit that out if I can, but it's a live stream, so I don't know how to do that. Either way. Where was I? Crap. But yeah. So, oh yeah. So as I was playing the game, I was really expecting something scary to happen. Like, this is the Psycho house, and there's all these noises that you hear. You heard me. I kept getting freaked out from like the footsteps that I could hear behind me. I thought I heard some chairs, some doors. The lights kept flicking. And they had all those ghost hunting things, and all these secret rooms, and the Ouija board, and that satanic ritual at the end, towards the end, which I found, which I thought was creepy. And then and there, I kind of, like, at that point, when you see the pentagram with the uncle's photo, like, I'm thinking, oh crap, they probably saw him, and this ghost, he's still here, and he's gonna like kill me, which is what I was expecting when I went up in the dark room. So I'm gonna hit resume right now, see where it brings me. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did, though. Thought it was a really good game. Alright. So, now I'm going to do this. Alright, and I'm going to go... Alright. So...
Katie, I'm so sorry that I can't be there to see you in person, that I can't tell you all this myself. But I hope as you read this journal and you think back, that you'll understand why I had to do what I did. And that you won't be sad, and you won't hate me, and you'll just know that I am where I need to be. I love you so much, Katie. I'll see you again, someday. Love, Sam.
Yeah, no. See, now, that again, it sounds like she kills herself. And the theories I listened to and I read, they kind of seemed like they said that she went to go find Sam. So I'm going to listen to the other audiobooks. I'm going to listen to them all. Let's go to items. No, journals. Alright.
Dear Katie, so much has changed, even just since you've been away. We moved into this house. I'm in a new school. And my big sister being gone for a year doesn't make it any easier. It doesn't feel real. But I'm not gonna let it faze me. I used to tell you everything, and if I can't do it in person, because you're off gallivanting around who knows where, I'll tell it to this journal, just like I was talking to you. Oh my God, you are so lucky you finished high school before we moved into this house. So, it's the first day of school, and there I am, introducing myself to the class, and I say that I just moved into the house on Arbor Hill. All of a sudden, every kid in the room turns and just stares like I suddenly transformed into a mutant. I just stood there, wishing pretty hard for a rewind button. Because now maybe nobody knows my name, but they all know who I am. The Psycho House girl. Great. You know that feeling where the first moment you see someone, it's like they have a big gold star around them, and you have to get to know them? Well, there's this girl. I think she's a senior. She's usually dressed kind of punk, but sometimes I see her in this, like, army uniform, and she's always drawing in this notebook, looking so intense. I had no idea how I would ever, like, have an excuse to talk to her. Till I noticed she and her friends hang out and play Street Fighter at the 7-Eleven every day after school. So you know what they say about the best laid plans of mice and men? Yeah, turns out it applies to Street Fighter too. At least I worked up the courage to walk into the 7-Eleven and ask for a turn, but all that practice at home did not exactly translate in the wild. So after I was finished getting my butt kicked, I followed them outside while they smoked. And that was when she asked me if I was that Psycho House girl. But then she said she's always really wanted to see the Psycho House. Her name is Lonnie. She's coming over tomorrow. It's weird hanging out with girls. Daniel was around ever since I was little, and other girls? I don't know. But being around Lonnie is like instantly just right. I gave her the grand Psycho House tour and took my revenge on Super Nintendo. And it was like, I don't know, I finally found someone I feel normal around. I drove her home and she gave me this tape and said, "You have got to listen to this." I haven't stopped playing it since. Lonnie brought her hair dye over today. She said, "I need to fix these roots. Think you could help?" Dyeing hair is weirdly intimate. I don't know if I've touched someone else's scalp before. That's pretty intimate, right? It felt intimate. We looked into the mirror together after, and I expected her to say something about how it looked crappy or good or whatever. But that's when she said, "You're so beautiful." And she was looking at me. Right in that moment, I wanted to say something, but I waited, and the moment was gone. Sometimes you just have to lie to Mom and Dad. Like when Lonnie asked me to see a band with her and stay over at her friend's place in the city after. That's a lie to Mom and Dad's situation. But it was so worth it. The girls on stage were just so loud and real and awesome. And everybody was moving together like one huge tide of sound. Between two songs, Lonnie leaned over and said, "How do you like your first show?" I was so happy. I felt tears starting in my eyes. And then she up and hugged me. I think she could tell. At Todd's brother's place after the show, there was only a futon to sleep on, so Lonnie and I shared it. The lights went out. I was turned toward her. My eyes started to adjust, and then I could see she was looking at me, too. In the dark, she smiled. My heart was beating so fast. I rolled over. I felt so, I don't know, nervous. After a minute, she put her arm around me and was so close and whispered in my ear, "I really like you." I just nodded my head, and I really hope she could tell. I really hope that she meant what I think she did. I felt like a shook-up can of soda ever since. I hope we have the chance to talk before I explode. Lonnie came over today, but everything was different. She was sitting at my desk chair, and she wouldn't look at me. Finally, I asked her what was going on. She said she felt like she'd done something wrong that night in the city. Like I must think... But I said no, there was nothing wrong. I just wanted to say... But I couldn't find the words. I felt like I was gonna cry, but I wasn't sad. She got up and sat next to me on the bed. I looked at her. "Lonnie, do you think you could ever..." And that's when she kissed me. It's different now. I mean, we still hang out all the time like before. But now when no one else is around... Well, you know. So you could say we're dating. But it's secret. Secret dating? I don't know. I mean, I guess that's the real difference. Now when we get off the phone, or go home for the night, or it's just quiet and we're alone, we say I love you. I'm so stupid sometimes. I was telling Lonnie that I got into my college summer program thing, and I was all making plans like, "You should come visit me, stay in my dorm room." But she said, "Sam, I ship out on June 6th. I was like, "Ship out? To where?" She said, "To basic training. What did you think I was doing all that ROTC stuff for?" I guess she's been planning to join the army right after high school since she was like 12. And I guess she's really going to do it. So I was like, after graduation, I'm just never going to see you again? She said, "Let's just have fun while we can." Todd's band lost their singer. Todd said he sucked. Lonnie said he got sick of Todd's shit, and he was complaining about needing a new singer. So Lonnie was like, I can sing. And they were all kind of like, you can? And she was like, probably. But she's been rehearsing with them for like a week now. And I finally got to see them play in Todd's basement today. And she's actually really amazing. I feel so proud when she's on stage. It's incredible being in awe of someone you love. So everybody knows it's like a temporary situation till she ships out in June. But till then, I'm gonna be at every single show. They tell you to stick with the group on field trips, Katie. There's a reason for that. Lonnie and I snuck off on the side paths at Multnomah Falls and got a little lost. Okay, a lot lost. Like, for hours. Right before the bus left, we found a trail and came running down the path, soaked and covered in mud, shouting for the bus not to leave. The school called home. Mom and Dad said, you didn't get into trouble like this before you met that Lonnie girl. But I don't think they know about us. The kids at school, though, I'm really afraid that's a whole other story. Stick with the group, Katie. Stick with the group. I don't get Lonnie sometimes. Like, her band, and our zine, and her hair, and everything are all anti-authority. But I watch her in JROTC, and she's doing drills in perfect formation, following orders, no question. And there's all this stuff in the news about don't ask, don't tell. Like, she's going to join the army and then have to lie about who she is. She said they don't need to know what they don't need to know. Like it was no big deal. This from the girl who trashed her locker to, like, defend my honor. I've learned when to stop arguing, though. I don't think Lonnie even gets Lonnie sometimes. I had an interesting talk with Mom and Dad tonight. One you were never gonna need to have. I mean, you've known, right? I've known. I've known since, like, She-Ra. Mom and Dad didn't, I guess. But they saw the zine and the stuff on the locker, and they were like, is there something we should know about you and Lonnie? And so here's the thing. I was prepared for them to be mad, or disappointed, or start crying, or something. But they were just in denial. You're too young to know what you want. You and Lonnie are just good friends. You just haven't met the right boy. It's a phase. That's what I didn't see coming. That they wouldn't even respect me enough to believe me. Well, joke's on them, because they're in for one very long phase. Lonnie had her going away show with her band tonight. She's so incredible on stage. And she was singing, I could practically forget everything. That we only had 48 hours left. That I don't know what comes next. That I can't live without her. Then she dedicated the last song to me. And I couldn't take it. I was out on the curb in the alley, sobbing till my ribs hurt. I would follow her anywhere, Katie. But I can't. Where she's going. After a long time, she found me. She said she was sorry. She said, I wish things could be different. I just wanted to make you happy. I said, I don't think you can anymore. We agreed our last night together would be our happiest ever, and we'd forget tomorrow was going to come at all. It worked for a while. We had a good time seeing Oscar off, then ran up to the attic to look through our photos. to find one for Lonnie to take with her. And looking at them, I realized they were all in the past. And there wouldn't be any more. I didn't know what I was going to do. And I cried. And she held me. She said she knew it was hard, but life would move on. I said I didn't want my life to keep moving without her. That's when she cried too. I was so exhausted. I must have fallen asleep like that, in her arms. In the morning, I woke up, and I was finally alone. The sunset light in this house is the saddest thing I've ever seen. I just want to sleep. When I'm in the attic, it almost feels like Lonnie could still be here. She's just downstairs. I'm just waiting to hear her pull down the hatch and come running up. Maybe I'll go up to the attic and wait.
I don't know, me myself, I'm still having a hard time figuring this out. I'm gonna explore up here more a little bit. Oh. I got another
Oh
one.
my God. Katie, I fell asleep in the attic, in Lonnie in my old spot, and I missed the first 2 calls. I just barely caught the third one before the machine got it. And it was Lonnie, on a payphone. She'd been on the bus to Basic, and she said she couldn't think of anything but me and us, and that she couldn't go through with it, with the army and being apart and all of it. And so she got off the bus in Salem. She said, "Sam, I want you to pack up everything you can and get in your car and come find me. And let's just drive until we find somewhere for us." And she asked me if I could do that. And I said yes. Yes.
Alright guys, so I'm glad I went and explored because I found that and that cleared up everything for me on Sam's whole story. So that makes a lot more sense to me. So it was a happy ending. And I've been wondering like where the parents are this entire time because I understand, so Sam's not here. She left before I got here to go with Lonnie. So after doing some further investigating, I figured out that where the parents was they are on their honeymoon. That's why they're not here. So I just came back in an inconvenient time. But she's still safe, and that's good. So that's where I'm gonna end this video, guys.
Katie, I'm so sorry that I can't be there to see you in person,
Let's let this one finish.
that I can't tell you all this myself. But I hope as you read this journal and you think back, that you'll understand why I had to do what I did. And that you won't be sad, and you won't hate me, and you'll just know that I am where I need to be. I love you so much, Katie. I'll see you again, someday. Love, Sam.
I wanna just say thank you for watching my series of this episode of this game, and I hope you really enjoyed it as much as I did because I thought this was one of the best games I've played in a while. I'd like to send out a special thank you to Ethan because I probably would have never even found out about this game if it wasn't for him, and I thought that was Really fun game. Also, there's two new games that I'm hopefully gonna get within the next 2 months at least. If not, then I'll try my hardest as soon as I can. But I want to get the game Among the Sleeping, which I'm guessing some of you have heard of. Maybe if you haven't, then it's a really fun game. I watched a few episodes on it with someone else, and I thought it was really cool. So before spoiling the entire thing, I shut it off and I figured out it's on the PS4, the console I play on. So I'm gonna try to get that, and that's supposed to be a really good game. And also, I wanna get the game. I believe it's called Outlast. No, yeah, Outlast. Either way, it's still a game. I watched Markiplier play it, and Jacksepticeye, both very famous YouTubers. Um, and I thought it was wicked cool. And I didn't even watch the entire thing, so I don't know how it ends. But it's like a first-person parkour adventure game, sort of like this one, but a little more freedom to it, and it's way more suspenseful. It's like wicked scary, especially if you play with me, because I have all my audio going into my headset, so everything's so much louder to me and all that, and it's creepy. So, if you have games that you'd like to see me play, just put them in the comments, email me, and that'll be cool, and I'll try to play the games that you guys want me to do, because I really like to YouTube. So yeah.